If you see a police officer in your dream, this most definitely lets you know that this dream has to do with enforcing universal law, okay? Or enforcing a contract. Hey, welcome to Black Fire Nation. I came back to tell you about dreams. I had a dream the other night, and it was about a past life. That's the first time I had a dream about a past life, so it was really interesting for me. It was so interesting that it made me go back in my dream journal and start to read all the way back to 2015. And as I started to analyze those dreams, I started to realize that a lot of them had to do with karma. And a lot of them had to do with me being in school. So I decided to make a video about it. So not about my dream, but to help you decode your dream, okay? So this video is going to be all about dream cheat codes. And I'm going to give you 10. 10 cheat codes. Now, these are not just going to be any old cheat codes, okay? This is going to be what a dream may be showing you about your karma. Your dreams are usually showing you something that is hidden deep down in your subconscious, and it's trying to get you to remember something, okay? So it's like your higher self is trying to teach you something about what is happening in the physical realm, or what is happening in your so-called real world. And it's showing you something that you need to learn. You're always learning. You're always in school, right? So now it may not be showing you something that's based on exactly what's happening now, because it could be showing you, like I said earlier, about the past, or it could be showing you something about the future. So just know that it's showing you something about your life path. Okay. Now, in a dream realm, time doesn't exist. However, if something about time does pop up or show up in your dream, then it's probably Saturn teaching you something about time. Now, before we actually get into the cheat codes, let me remind you that I do offer dream interpretations, okay? And I also offer number interpretations, and I also offer name interpretations. If you want any of these services, just go on my website, blackfirenation.com, click on the services button, and you'll see a link for all of those things, okay? So let's move forward. Now, I already kind of named one. I said I was going to give you 10, but I already kind of named one when I mentioned Saturn, because planets can show up in your dreams, and they show up as metaphors. They can actually show up in the form of a person. They can show up in the form of a color. They can show up in the form of an object, but they definitely represent a metaphor. So one way you might see Saturn is if you see a clock, or if someone mentions something about time in your dream. Okay? In my dreams, Saturn usually shows up as my father. And I know this because of things that he might say to me. It might have something to do with time, or I don't know. I can't think of anything else right now. But if my father says something to me, it lets me know. My Uncle Tim, which is also the word time, shows up in my dreams a lot. Now, Saturn is also called Chronos, okay? And Chronos means time. So when Saturn shows up and it's saying, showing you something about time, is letting you know that you're in a particular season, or it's telling you what time it is. Now, time in the spiritual realm is really relative to your personal spiritual maturity. Yes, we have a grand clock that's universal for everybody, but then everybody individually is at their own page spiritually. So Saturn is showing you where you are as far as spiritual maturity. It's showing you what class you are in. Remember that we are in school. We are always in school. Now, remember when you was in school, you used to switch classes every hour when you was like, I don't know, middle school maybe or whatever? Well, you're still doing that, okay? And you do that for the purpose of spiritual maturity. Now, Like I said, in this video, I'm going to give you 10 cheat codes, and I just gave you one, letting you know that a planet may show up in the form of an object or a person or something like that, something else. So I'm going to give you 9 more. But these other 9 means that if you see any of these things in your dream, that your dream probably has to do with some type of karma, okay? Or it's telling you where you are in school, or it's telling you something about school. So number 2 is if you see a car in your dream. The word car means heart in the Greek language. So we can know that this dream has to do with your heart. Now, when you see a car, you want to pay attention to the color of the car, because the color of the car can reveal if it has to do with a chakra. So if you see a green car, it could be a heart chakra. If you see a red car, it could be a root chakra. If you see a yellow car, it could be the solar plex. Okay, now pay attention to who's driving the car. If you don't see anybody driving a car, then it's probably telling you you are not in control of yourself, and you are not in control of your heart. Now, how I know it has to do with karma is because car is at the root of the word karma. So anything that has to do with a car is also expressing something that has to do with karma, all right? Number 3, if you see a police officer in your dream, this most definitely lets you know that this dream has to do with enforcing universal law, okay? Or enforcing a contract. Karma is a contract. Okay, and the main energy that enforces karma and contracts is Saturn. Saturn is in charge of returns. The word returns is also the word Saturn. Okay, and Saturn is in charge of paying things back. So if you see a police officer in your dream or a car in your dream, that lets you know that there is a law being enforced. There is a contract being enforced. Okay, number 4. If you see a bridge, a door, stairs, or an elevator, all of these things suggest that you have moved to another level. Congratulations. It might mean that you have entered into a new class of spiritual maturity. You may have moved up, maybe you moved down. But another level doesn't necessarily mean a higher level or a lower level. It just means another level. Try not to look at things as good or bad. I know that can be difficult. I struggle with that myself. But consider that up or down may not mean positive or negative. If you're going up steps, down steps, or, up an elevator, down an elevator. Like, for example, if you're going down, that may not be a bad thing, but it could mean that you're getting to the foundation of something, that you're getting to the root of something. Okay, so don't see going up and down as a bad thing. Okay, anyway. Number 5 is if you see a lock or a key in your dream. Now, this has to do with releasing something, opening something, of course. And it probably has to do with releasing karma or debt. The word lock lets us know that it has something to do with being locked away or neglecting something or ignoring something. Something is locked away, and if you're not dealing with it, then karma comes and helps you bring it up to deal with it. Karma usually occurs in like repetitive cycles, but because something is locked away in the subconscious, maybe you have, pressed it down and it's not being addressed. So that means it's not being healed. So that means it's not being released. And you need a key. That means you're going to need a key to open it and release it. Okay, so you need to release some type of debt or a prisoner you could be holding there. So that's going to lead us to number 6. Okay, if you see a prison, or if you are in jail, or you see a jail, or somebody else is in jail, that means that you are probably holding on to a debt, and debt is negative karma. Now, this has to do with forgiveness. Okay, debts are created when we do not forgive, when we do not let go. When we do not forgive and we do not let go, we hold people in a spiritual prison. But when you are holding on to somebody, you're stuck there too. When you're holding somebody in a spiritual prison, you're holding yourself there too. So that means you have imprisoned them and you have imprisoned yourself. So if you see a prison, that has to do with karma. You're not forgiving, and you're creating some kind of debt. Number 7, if you see numbers in your dream. Now, of course, you should look up the numerology behind numbers in your dream. But you should also look at the number itself. Okay, so when I do number interpretations, I also look at the shape of the number and I interpret it based on the shape of the number. I also look at how the word is spelled, and then I use the letters to actually see what does that number really mean. So for example, the number 7. Most people that study numerology knows that the number 7 means to be complete. But the number 7 is also shaped like the letter L. And L means God. So they're telling me that number 7 has a lot to do with God, has a lot to do with I am. The word 7 has the word even in it. So that also tells us that 7 is not only about completing something, but it is about karmic completion and about making things even, because it has the word even in it. So that means the number 7 is also about balance. So I'm saying all that to say to don't simply rely on common numerology when it comes to seeing numbers in dreams. Dig a little bit deeper, okay? Number 8 is money. If you see money in your dream, money is most definitely tied to karma. In fact, the word money in Greek is karma, Kerma. Therefore, if you see money being exchanged in a dream, it may have to do with a payment being made, or somebody owes somebody some kind of debt, which again has to do with karma. Okay, so now this is only one option when you see money in your dream. I mean, money could mean multiple things, but remember, we're talking about karma in this dream. It depends on what the circumstance is, and what happened during that exchange. But what I'm getting at, if the idea of someone owing somebody some money or something like that, or maybe there's an argument about money or something like that, I would bet my last dollar that it has to do with karma. So, speaking of arguments, number 9, if there's an argument going on in your dream, that means there is a trial going on. An argument is a court trial. When we take people to court, we are suing them. And that is exactly what karma really is. So, when you are arguing with someone, either you want to sue someone or someone wants to sue you because they feel like they are owed a debt, okay? So if you're ever in court or you're in an argument in your dream, this is likely about some type of karma. Some type of karma needing to be resolved. There's an argument going on. Now, sidebar. Sometimes you might dream about arguing with someone and you don't quite remember who it was that you were arguing with, but it was very likely yourself. You were arguing with your own ego. Okay, a lot of the people that show up in our dreams are just like metaphors for ourselves. Now, number 10, if you see some type of cleaning going on in your dream, somebody's cleaning a house, somebody's cleaning a room, that probably means that some type of cleaning is occurring in your DNA. Some type of old debt is being cleaned or washed away. Okay, negative karma is being cleaned. Debt is being cleared away. That's why the Bible says you must be born again. So you must be washed and made clean. You need to start with a new slate. That means that you need to relieve guilt and shame, which also has to do with karma. Okay, when you're holding on to guilt and shame, you keep creating negative karma. So there are your 10 cheat codes. If you see any of these things in your dream, pay attention to them. I hope this was helpful for you. And please don't forget that I do offer dream interpretations, number interpretations, name interpretations, and you can find all of those services on blackfirenation.com. Okay? Please leave some comments. Let me know about your dreams, and I'll maybe do some interpretations in the comments. Just, holla at me. All right? Peace.